everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be painting some white florals, so let's do it. Okay, so to start, I'm going to go through my materials. I have my Arches cold pressed watercolor paper, my Winsor Newton professional watercolors on my palette, my Princeton snap brushes in a size 12 and 6 round, my water paper towel, and we're ready to go. Okay, so today we are going to be painting a bouquet of white florals. And if you've ever seen me paint white florals before, you know that I don't use white paint, and you don't want to leave the paper just white. There's always some sort of undertone to anything that's white that you're painting. It could be gray, pink, yellow, cream, whatever. So the trick is trying to mix those colors so they show up on the paper but still look like the object is white. So that's what we're gonna do. And we're gonna be painting loose florals. So I got this beautiful bouquet of flowers for my birthday that happened recently, and they are white flowers and they're gorgeous. And the undertone to these flowers are a bit on the yellow, kind of greenish side, and maybe a bit pink. So that's what we're gonna go for today. So I'm just gonna go to my yellow section here where I have mixed yellow ochre before and cadmium yellow with a bit of brown. There's a bit of peach in there. So I'm just gonna use the leftovers of whatever I have in there. So I'm just gonna take my water and I'm just gonna activate whatever's in there. Really water it down because you want the lightest wash possible. And I'm gonna start with a rose. And remember, if you've seen my other videos on composition, I never do something right in the smack dab in the center. It's always a little bit off to the side. So let's start there. We're gonna start with a rose, and I'm just gonna do some small little circular squiggles like this. And remember, we're making this a loose bouquet. It's not gonna be very detailed. It's just fun and loose. So we're just doing curved petals around those squiggly lines. And then I might go back in with a bit more color and just add a bit of darkness like that. Now it's super light, but once it's surrounded by greenery, it will definitely show up a bit more. Okay, now I'm gonna do another one. I think might do one that's a bit more tinted, like a yellowy green. So I made my color here. I'm gonna swish my paint brush in the water just to take off some of that color. And I'm gonna do more of like a, kind of like a carnation. So I'm still doing like little squiggly circular lines. And instead of going thicker like I did with the rose here, I'm just gonna go not as thick, but still kind of curvy. Just makes it look slightly different. Okay, and then before those dry, I want to add some greenery in between, just so it doesn't look like there's just blobs of flowers together. So I'm gonna take whatever green I have in my palette at the moment. Actually, I might do a freesia coming right up the center here. So I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna do some buds like that. I'm actually gonna wash off my brush, grab a little bit of cream, and we're gonna do some like little white creamish color flowers. And then I'm just gonna mop some of that up. I'm gonna grab my green and touch the bottom of those little buds so it looks like the stem is connected to them, like that. Okay, then I'm gonna grab some more green and I'm gonna put it right in here, touching that flower a bit so it bleeds. Doing some loose leaves like that around. Okay, and I could always go back in with a little bit more darkness like that. Okay, let's do some more flowers. So I'm gonna grab some more of whatever color's in here. I think I'm gonna do another little rose down here. So more squigglies. Touching some of that greenery a bit so it bleeds. So they look like they're kind of like more on the yellow side, these roses and the flowers. But you can use whatever light wash you want to. You could use a really light wash of gray or blue, whatever tint you want. Grab more green, like this. And then I'm gonna do some cool greenery over here. I have it coming around in a circle. It's kind of this cool green leaf that's in my bouquet. That's really awesome. Okay, and then I'm going to add a little bit of that creamish yellow to some of the edges. And I'm going to grab some dark green now, and I'm going to go just in the center, in the base of some of those, just to add a little bit of depth, like that. There you go. Okay, I think I'm going to do maybe another freesia over here. So I'm going to grab that light wash of yellow. So my undertone is yellow. And I'm going to do, actually I want it a bit more peachish. So I'm going to grab a bit of pink and mix it in there. And do these kind of loose petal shapes. Like that. Again, wipe it off. Grab my green. Touch the bottom of those buds with a stem coming up the middle. More buds coming off like that. Again, grab my dark green, go along the stem just to add a bit of darkness. And I think I might grab a little bit of that yellow just to have a little bleed right there. Okay. Now let's go this way. These are still wet, so I want to go down here. I'm going to grab, let's just mix whatever's in here. Maybe a bit more on the peach side too again. We could do just like kind of like a textured flower. Again, kind of like a carnation-y type, like that. Grab a bit more color, just dab a bit. It's more on the peach side, and that's cool. Totally up to you. I'm gonna grab some green. I'm gonna do some bigger leaves, I think. Like that. Just adding some darkness. I'm gonna do another flower in here. And these kind of have a tint of green to them too, and my actual flowers, some of them have a tint of green, so I'm kind of cool with that being the undertone. Again, just really kind of just dabbing some dots. Like that, a bit more in the center. Like that, gonna get some more green and do those big leaves again on this side. Okay, and then I think I want to put a little one down here as well. Let's do another rose. And I'm going to put a little bit of greenery in between these two flowers. Maybe a little bit in there. Then I'm going to grab some perline green and a little bit of purple, I think, to get a more of a grayish color. And I'm going to do some almost like eucalyptus down here. Like that. I could do one up here too. Start with your stem and do more like rounded petal shapes. And again, I'm going back in with that dark stem like that. Okay, so this green kind of took over here. I'm not too fond of that. So while it's still wet, I'm gonna mop it up like this. This happens. Don't worry if it does. Make sure your brush is clean and dry, and you can just go back over like that. That happens to me a lot. And then I'm gonna grab just a little bit of green this time. Like that. I think I just had too much green on my brush. So I get a little bleed, but not a big one. Like that. Okay. All right, now I'm just gonna step back and look at my painting a bit. Where does it need more flowers? I think I might do a couple little buds like the freesia here. Like that. Do another little bud. Get my green. Touch the bottom. Like that. Okay, so it kind of looks not symmetrical, but it looks balanced. And now I just really want to add in some greenery around. So I really like this kind of leaf. I'm thinking I might do another little version of it over here. So maybe just some leaves in like a circular motion, and then it a bit bigger, like that. Grab my darker paint. Like so. Grab a little bit of that cream color and just tip the edges. What else? I think I'm gonna do some lighter, actually brown stem kind of eucalyptus. So I'm gonna grab some burnt umber. I'm gonna use my smaller brush for this. Make sure it's wet. And I'm going to use the tip of my brush to do the stem, like that. Okay, then I'm gonna grab my green. I'm gonna use this darker green with a bit of purple to make this grayish eucalyptus color. Not too dark. And I'm just gonna do some petals coming off this brown stem. Like that, petals, leaves, that's what I meant. Like so. Then I'm gonna grab my brown again, and I'm just gonna go up the center, just tap it a bit like that. Okay, let's do another one. Maybe over here. Green. And you're dragging away from the stem, and then some of that brown will bleed into the green leaf, which I like, but if you don't, you can always just go over it with a bit more green. You can always tap in more green, whatever you like. But I do like those leaves. I think that looks really cool. And I think I might do another one right there. And if you look, my leaves are not perfect. I'm just kind of doing the light pressure, and flicking it up. And it's kind of doing its own thing. Like, they don't all look the same. They're not all perfect, but that's kind of what I'm going for with loose, right? Loose florals. And maybe to get a little bleed, because this is already dry, I'm just gonna take a little bit of that cream color and just have a little bit of a color bleed in there. Like that. Okay. Okay, so let's do some around this side now. And we can always change it up. Let's do some like silver dollar eucalyptus kind of one. So I'm going to take that green color. And these are going to be thicker, more rounded eucalyptus. Some of them are like flat because they're from the side view. Like that. Go back in with your darker green. Tap it. Like that, and then it's kind of sparse down here. So I think I might do some more of these brown stem ones. Like that. Even do a bit more. And really you can keep going or stop whenever you think it's done. Try not to overwork your painting, but I mean, sometimes it happens. I mean, looking at this right now, I might be overworking it as we speak, and I'm telling you not to, but really, I'm just having fun, and that's what it's all about, right? I find just doing leaves and greenery is just super relaxing to do as well. So as long as you're having fun, just enjoy it. And then once that is all done, I feel like I might add some, let's see, should I do some like lemon yellow buds? I can do a couple of brighter green using lemon yellow and green, like neon-y green buds. Maybe not. I don't know if I like that color. Just play around, see what you like, see what you don't. And we could also add some like really light and thin, what's it called? Like foliage too. So let's grab an even smaller brush. I have a size 2. I'm gonna take whatever green I have in here, maybe some sap green. Okay, and I'm just going to do some really light, thin foliage. Some lines. Like there's a stem and then just some lines like that coming off of it. Just flip your wrist. It's almost like pine, but not pine. I don't know what it's called. Just some fillers. Very, very light pressure. And it's easier to flick away from the stem. So try and do that. You can always turn your page. Another little thing you could do is like little stems and then just dabbing, 2 little dabs for some little leaves, like that. Dab, 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 dab. Those look really cute too. But just filling it in however you feel looks the best. This is your piece. fill it however you like. And I think we'll leave it there. If you did want to create a bit more depth to some of those white flowers, you could, once they're dry, get your light color again and just kind of do some, like a second layer of curves, just to make them look a bit more defined. So they won't bleed this time because they'll be working on dry. You can just kind of sharpen them up like that. It's totally up to you though. Totally up to you. But there you go. There is your bouquet of white kind of cream florals. Thank you all so much for watching my video. I really hope you liked it. I hope you learned something. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and follow me on Instagram and Facebook for even more. Have a great day, guys. Bye.
I'm wearing a
Oh, what shirt are you wearing?
Mickey and Minnie
Mickey and Minnie.
Donald
And Donald.
and Chip and Dale.
And Chip and Dale.